Robert Vesco does not invent investors' overseas services. He inherits its corpse, and then he feeds. In 1970, Bernie Cornfeld's mutual fund carnival is already breaking. Share prices are collapsing. Investors want out. Into that panic walks Vesco, a New Jersey financier with his own cash crisis, offering the oldest promise in the paper empire catalog: I can save you. What he saves is himself. Over the months that follow, hundreds of millions of dollars of iOS money are diverted into Vesco's web of companies. When the theft can no longer be disguised as restructuring, he does not stay to argue. He runs, and he keeps running for the rest of his life through Costa Rica, the Bahamas, Antigua, Cuba, becoming the most famous fugitive financier of the American century. Tonight, not the salesman who built the dream, the scavenger who stripped it for parts and bought himself a country's protection with other people's savings. Robert Lee Vesco is born in 1935, learns money the rough way, and by the late 60s controls International Controls Corporation, a publicly traded vehicle with ambitions larger than its balance sheet. He is not Cornfeld. He does not sell sincerity to housewives. He sells deals to men who think they are too smart to be sold. When iOS catches fire, Vesco sees oxygen. He cultivates directors, lends the appearance of a white knight, and maneuvers into control as Cornfeld is shoved aside. The mutual fund complex still holds an ocean of other people's money. Vesco's companies are thirsty. The solution writes itself. This is not a subtle long con with coupons and neighbors. This is tunneling, the art of moving cash from a regulated pool into private pockets, through investments, loans, and related party deals that look on a hurried board agenda like strategy. iOS money flows toward Vesco interests. The fund of funds becomes a fund of Vesco. By 1972-73, the SEC and prosecutors are circling. The numbers attached to the looting are staggering, even by this series standards, commonly cited around $200 to $224 million diverted, with some tallies pushing higher when you chase every shell. Vesco is indicted. He does not appear in a New York courtroom to discuss it. He flees to Costa Rica, where he cultivates political friendship and capital investment, the way Cornfeld once cultivated salesmen. For a time, it works. A fugitive with a checkbook can rent a surprising amount of sovereignty. The United States wants him. Extradition becomes a chess match. Vesco smiles for cameras and calls himself a persecuted businessman. When Costa Rica cools, the map becomes a blur of tropical airstrips and friendly strongmen. The Bahamas, Antigua, whispers of other ports. Each jurisdiction is a new letterhead for the same trick Season 1 taught us. Borrow trust from a flag, a title, a host who finds your money useful. Back home, Vesco's name stains American politics too. Secret campaign contribution scandals in the Nixon years attach themselves to his orbit. Another reminder that paper empires love proximity to power. Whether every accusation sticks is a lawyer's fight. The pattern is plain. The looter understood that politics is just another form of reinsurance. Eventually, the road ends in Fidel Castro's Cuba, of all places, a capitalist ghost living under a communist roof, useful or tolerated for reasons Havana never fully explained to Washington. Vesco will spend years there, tangled in new schemes, including a bizarre miracle cancer drug venture that earns him a Cuban prison term in the 1990s. He dies in Havana in 2007, still a myth more than a man. The template for every later fugitive who treats borders as customer service. Cornfeld asked if you sincerely wanted to be rich. Vesco answered a different question. If the vault is already cracked, why bother selling? Just carry the money out while everyone is staring at the salesman. iOS is gone. The investor's belief is gone. What remains is the lesson Vesco adds to our gallery. The most dangerous man in a collapsing empire is not always the founder. Sometimes it is the rescuer. Every paper empire collapse has a moment when the paperwork starts to chase a human body that is no longer there. Vesco's genius, if we can use that word without vomiting, was refusing to play the courtroom scene at all. Let Cornfeld be the face in the newspapers. Let the directors sue each other. Let the SEC print his name in capital letters. A name in a headline cannot be handcuffed if the man under the name is already over international water. Extradition is supposed to be the adult world's answer to fugitives. Vesco turned it into theater. Each host country weighed treaty language against local investment, domestic politics, and the simple pleasure of telling Washington no. For years, the most powerful nation on earth could indict him and could not touch him, a geopolitical version of the auditor who cannot audit the software. Spare a thought for the people who are not Cornfeld and not Vesco. The teachers, the soldiers, the European savers who bought the fund of funds because a sincere young man sat in their kitchen. Their money became the bridge loan for a fugitive's lifestyle. That is the moral arithmetic of scavenging. The founder sells a dream. The looter does not even bother to dream. He only bills the dreamers. In the American imagination, Vesco becomes something larger than his indictment, a boogeyman of offshore escape, proof that wealth can dissolve a border. Later, fugitives will study the map he drew, even if they never speak his name. If you have watched this series from the beginning, you can already name the ingredients without me. A source of trust that outruns scrutiny. A story too good to interrogate. A victim standing at a side door. A clock, hidden or denied. Every modern scheme in Season 2 is still that machine. Only